Hello fellow Scratchers! I got super excited the other day watching a devlog by a creator named Game Endeavour. They presented some awesome sword-wielding mechanics and the most fantastic AI-controlled enemy fights I'd seen for a long time. What's more, they gave some great insight into how they had achieved it. Well, in that case, I wondered if it might be possible to have a stab at recreating something similar in Scratch. Now that would be amazing. So today's video will be the first of a number of devlogs following my attempts at bringing these ideas to Scratch, beginning with reimagining our beloved Scratch Cat as a sword-wielding, yes, cat. No direct affiliation to other sword-clad felines. Right then, my first job was to get some decent Scratch Cat costumes. For that, we can pop over to Scratch Cat's personal Scratch profile. Their projects are full of interesting Scratch costumes that we can borrow. What we need now is a sword, and here's one I made earlier. You'll notice Game Endeavour is using that floating hand technique to avoid having to animate his player's arms. Very cunning. Maybe we can pull off the same trick with Scratch Cat? Oh gosh. Perhaps if I widen their shoulders? Ah, nice. And so that we can wave the sword around without waving the body too, I've split the sword and hand into a separate sprite to the main cat body. The game loop, complete with basic movement scripts, will live in the player sprite. We've coded that up a million times before. Now, to avoid the cursed lagging sprite bug caused by sprites having their own forever loops, I use a simple broadcast to sword sprite to bring our sword to the cat. And then we are perfectly in sync. Excellent. Another bug to avoid is forgetting to edit the sword to face right rather than up. All three rotating sprites must begin facing this way, as that's what Scratch expects. Now it will point in the direction we ask it to, 0 for up. A little offset, and things are looking pretty sweet. Scratchy's certainly enjoying their makeover. So on to more exciting things. The sword rotation. Referring to the source material, as I do over and over again as the devil is in the detail, you'll notice that their sword is always held back, pointing away from the target. This is in preparation for a swing attack. Not only that, but we have a virtual arm to account for, held at 90 degrees to the sword. We can do the same by positioning the sword over the player, pointing it towards the mouse pointer, rotating left by 90 degrees, and moving forward. That is for the player's invisible arm. Then we finally rotate left again to leave the sword facing in the desired direction. String these moves all together into one script and drop in a juicy apple, and our Scratch Cat becomes a veritable fruit ninja. Awesome! But look again at the tech demo. Slowed right down, you can see that their attack animation is so much cooler than that. The sword swooshes instantly in front of us, leaving a white arcing motion trail to represent the force and speed of the action. So cool. And we can do that too. I just mocked up some trails using a large circle, including a small second arc to continue the motion. Then, when the space key is pressed, I trigger attack mode and show the motion trail sprite. And what a difference that makes! Wow, without even moving the sword. But it was getting late in the day now, and I wanted to quickly complete the sword motion, so I mocked it up using a list of directions to cycle the sword through. And it's kind of funny how cool this looks, even though there's something very wrong. The player's arm is comically able to rotate 360 degrees in a complete circle, coming back to the exact spot it began. So the next day I studied the motion more closely, and I realised I had to limit the arm rotation to a half circle. What I had missed was that the sword hand could also rotate from -90 to 90 degrees relative to the arm, giving that full 360 degrees of motion and bringing the sword from one side of the player's body to the other in a beautiful swiping motion. Yep, that was the key. At this point, having the sword appear behind the player's feet was getting a little bit old, and yet we need the sword to go behind the player's head. So to fix this, I brought in my sprite layering tutorial code. You must make sure to watch that video. It's so useful and it's linked under this video. And it made short work of the problem. Awesome, that is much better. Okay, time to make this motion more realistic. We want the arm to swipe across, overshoot, and then come back to rest. To achieve this, I needed to give the arm rotational velocity and emulate a dampened spring physics system. Luckily, a lot easier than it sounds. Look, here's the code. So swing dir is the direction of our arm, and swing velocity is how fast it is rotating. This starts at 0 when it's not moving. Then we simply set target dir, target direction, to the direction we want the arm to swing to, the target direction. The 0.1 here determines how powerful our spring action is, and the 0.65 is how much dampening is applied, so that it doesn't keep oscillating back and forward forever. That's beautifully simple, and also allows us to easily swing the sword back up again by setting target dir back up to the top with a value like -180. It looks fantastic no matter what direction we are swinging in. And to avoid having the player walk around with their sword in the down position, I automatically set the target to bring the sword back up if the player fails to perform a second sword attack within a short period of time. That makes it just feel more natural. Not to mention also flipping the player's sprite and their sword target when the player faces left, since their costume and hands are therefore also flipped. Now, I haven't had the cat moving around the screen for a while, and for good reason. We are in dire need of a reasonably good walk cycle animation. But man, can I get those scratch legs to look right? Why is this so hard? In the end, I did my best to follow the same kind of animation as Game Endeavor's video, but I can't say I did them justice. Anyhow, here they are imported back into Scratch, and at least now we can feel like we're able to dance around the apple and do some serious Fruit Ninja slicing. This is getting so fun. And wow, our sword-wielding hero is almost complete. A few finishing touches, a ghosted shadow sprite to keep the player grounded, and a particle sprite using clones to emit dust clouds as we skip around the floor. And we are done! Isn't that fantastic? I feel this character would slot in very well to many types of games, like a zombie apocalypse, or an RPG, or some crazy epic Fruit Ninja extravaganza. However, my goal is to begin experimenting with the enemy AI showcased in Game Endeavor's awesome devlog. So do join me next time as I try to harness the power of context steering to bring this apple to life. I gotta say, it's coming along really well. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this little devlog. If you want to see more, then smash that like button and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and tick the bell icon to ensure you get notified when the next exciting episode drops. If anything in this video got your creative juices flowing, then drop me a comment under the video and share what you are planning to do about it. Are you going to try to build something similar in Scratch too? I'd love to hear about it. And that's it from me today. So have a great week ahead and scratch on, guys.